All right, you may be wondering what that was. That was the Bigfoot Calling Competition in Kentucky. Very tough competition this year. We saw right there some incredible calls that they had. We do have a winner. We'll let you know who the winner of the competition was. I know a lot of people are really dying to know who won the Bigfoot Calling Competition. But Jamie, you're someone that I wouldn't call you a Bigfoot believer. You're just not a Bigfoot denier.
Right. I was gonna ask too. Is like, how do you judge a Bigfoot calling competition? If you've never heard Bigfoot, how do you know?
There's a great question. The judge, his name is Charlie Raymond, and he leads local Bigfoot hunts in the area in Kentucky. So they got the perfect guy. I don't know if Charlie is someone that has his own kind of Bigfoot call. I don't know if he has one that works or not, because I don't think they have ever found Bigfoot. So it's kind of hard to judge what the best call is, but let's run the story. Marvin Bartlett with the story out in Kentucky.
The 10-year-old took the top prize with a real example of stage fright.
I can do like really long laughs and stuff and do like make a bunch of weird noises. So I was just like, just kind of knew like what I would.
The 10-year-old took the top prize.
That was your winner. Oh my gosh. Let me turn the sound down on that. That is brutal. I am sorry for the people having to listen to those Bigfoot screams, but
Yeah.
there was your winner, 10-year-old. Kind of stole the competition. You see a lot of people coming out.
Like when you first heard that, like I think you were actually like you were legit scared.
I didn't know how to respond to.
You felt like it wasn't Bigfoot. You felt like it was like maybe she was like possessed.
I don't know how to respond to Bigfoot calls. You know, that's something that you don't see too often every single day.
I'll listen. I'll admit.
What are you gonna admit here? I'm getting worried.
I've never heard a Bigfoot. I've never seen a Bigfoot. I don't know what a Bigfoot would sound like. So I can't judge the accuracy of any of the contestants.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, you just kind of go for the most creative in this sort of case. But, at the top of this, though, you're saying, where am I in the Bigfoot debate? And it's like, for me personally, I like on really any of these subjects, these types of subjects, I like to keep an open mind. Because I think there's a lot of people that are like, no, I've never seen it, I've never experienced it, cannot happen. But there's a lot of things that we've never experienced that have happened, that do happen. That we just don't have any frame of reference to go by. So, it's like I feel like there are things out there that that still are left to be explained.
I'm trying to, I'm a man that keeps the Ozarks first, ozarksfirst.com, shameless plug. Trying to think, maybe we don't have a Bigfoot competition. Maybe we do an Ozarks Howler competition. Do you think about that?
And okay, so you said the Ozark Howler.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a thing.
I know.
Down in Jasper, Arkansas.
I know. We need to have a competition for the Howler.
Okay, good. And
Kentucky's got the Bigfoot. We'll let them keep that.
Well, and listen, I've seen some other stories like, because there's so many documentaries out there, compilations of people's stories.
This is what you're watching at midnight. You're watching YouTube videos.
I have watched a lot of, but not YouTube videos. But I mean, there's a lot of TV shows and stuff that revolve around this, and there are stories out of the Ozarks, not just Northwest Arkansas, but there are famous stories out of like the Texarkana area. There are stories out of your neck of the woods over in Southeast Missouri.
Yeah.
And I mean, like the stories, like when you listen to these people talk about it, they don't look like crazies. They don't sound like people trying to make stuff up, creating a hoax. I mean, it's like something happened to them. They have a story, and maybe they mistook something for Bigfoot. That's possible, but they experienced something, and it would be groups of people that have experienced something. So it's like, I find it very, very interesting.
I would love if someone has some evidence, some stories about Bigfoot, Ozark Howler, whatever. I know Joplin is, or not Joplin, I think it's more West Virginia, like the Mothman. That's another kind of cryptic.
Prophecies.
Joplin's more butterfly people.
What was that? The Pleasant Hope Bridge? Anyway, it was a bridge that collapsed. And they were like, well, all of these Mothman sightings that had preceded the bridge collapse, they were like, well, if you see Mothman, something bad's going to happen. And then something really bad, this big tragedy where all these people that were on the bridge went into the river, and a lot of them were killed. So yeah, we've kind of like gone into other
Yeah, the
cryptid areas.
the Joplin Spooklight. Have you heard of that one?
I've heard of it. I've talked to people that have seen it.
Yeah.
I've talked to people. I mean, these are very serious people that are like, we don't know what it was, but there is something there.
Bigfoot Calling Competition, by the way, that was the first annual one. If you're listening to those calls and you're like, I can do better than that, you got 1 year to train up. Competition is in Kentucky. The champion is a 10-year-old girl that you're trying to take down. So just know if you do dethrone her, she will probably be very upset, and she's going to be practicing all year long. I don't know what else to say about this Bigfoot competition, Jamie. You're sitting there grinning like you got something to say.
Well, I mean, I feel like we haven't really pinned Matt down. Like, where do you stand on the Bigfoot debate?
I haven't seen Bigfoot. I have been out in the woods in the middle of the night. Grandpa, world raccoon hunting champion. I have seen some weird things.
I still love the way you say that, raccoon.
Raccoon.
It's raccoon.
It's raccoon. I have seen some scary eyes in the middle of the woods glowing back at you, but it's probably a sweet little deer for all I know.
I will give you that. I will give you that. I have where I grew up, I mean, lots of woods, thick woods. I never experienced anything in those woods that I would say was supernatural in any way or cryptid in any way. I do remember one night I was camping. I was at a Boy Scout camp.
The 10-year-old
It
took
was
the top
you were there
prize.
for a week, and you were in basically you were in the woods in these tents for a week. And I remember in the middle of the night, and where this campground was nowhere in Mississippi. I mean, it was out in the
Rural.
sticks. Yeah, rural. And
No Piggly
I
Wiggly
remember
nearby.
waking up to something screaming in the woods, like there was a
Like a
were next
person
to a
or-
lake.
or
We were
like
next
an
to a
animal?
lake, and it was across the lake. It wasn't a person. It sounded like it sounded like some form of animal. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say it was Bigfoot. I don't think it was, but it was a sound that I had never heard and I have not heard since. And it was a scream type sound, and it wasn't a woman. And it's possible maybe it was like a mountain lion or a panther. It's possible. That's one of those types of things. I mean, even if I know we could just go on and on. I didn't want to say that, but it's like mountain lions in this area or panthers. There are other places in the country where it's like, oh, we don't have panthers anymore. They're gone. They're long gone.
We
got
definitely
rid of
do.
those guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, they're out there. There may not be very many of them, but it's just like black bears. There was a time when you didn't see a black bear in this part of the country because they thought they had basically exterminated them, and they've been introduced back into the area. But there was also a native population that was there that they didn't realize was still there, and the black bear population has gradually grown. Mountain lions, there have been sightings. There have been confirmed sightings in this area. They think, oh, they're just passing through. Why do we think that they're just passing through? Why can't we believe that maybe there's a population of panthers?
Maybe they're nestled up with Bigfoot.
I don't know.
Hey, if you guys want more hard-hitting facts, more hard-hitting news like the Bigfoot calling competition, or maybe you just want a weather forecast if you want to know it's going to rain this weekend or not, you can get that from us, ozarksfirst.com. Hopefully you enjoyed the Bigfoot calling contest. Jamie, can I get one Bigfoot call from you for the road?
I don't know what they sound like. I mean,
Ooh!
that sounds like a werewolf. You're a werewolf?
Better than nothing. Thanks for watching.